Epictetus and his lamp. Epictetus was a slave and Stoic teacher. He, perhaps more than most, recognised the differences between owning possessions and possessions owning you. Here's the story. I keep an iron lamp by my household shrine. Hearing a noise from my window, I ran down and found the map had been lifted. I reasoned that the thief who took it must have felt an impulse he couldn't resist. So I said to myself, tomorrow you'll get a cheaper, less attractive one made of clay. A man only loses what he has. I lost clothes. Yes, because you had clothes. I have a pain in the head. Well, at least you don't have a pain in the horns, right? Loss and sorrow are only possible with respect to things we own. From Epictetus Discourses, Book 1. Epictetus recognised that we don't need possessions. In fact, he would have had very few when a slave. Often, as we accumulate physical possessions and ties, we become accustomed to having them. But in a sense, they can weigh us down and make us think they are important. This materialism can be dangerous. If we compare to others, we can begin to ask, why have they got so much more than me? And our fragility might demand that we either contest it or explain away why they have more. Oh, they got it from their parents. Oh, they got lucky. I've been hard done by. These perspectives are missing the point, though. The empty pomp of a procession, plays on the stage, flocks and herds, jousting shows, a bone thrown to puppies, titbits into the fish ponds, ants toiling and carrying, the scurries of frightened mice, puppets dancing on their strings. Well, amid all this, you must keep yourself tolerant. Do not snort at them, but bear in mind a person's worth is measured by the worth of what he values. From Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. The Stoics emphasised virtue, namely the virtues Plato mentions in the Republic: wisdom, courage, moderation, and justice. When we compare with others or be jealous, we do an injustice to ourselves. We should instead be focusing on what we can do to be better and virtuous. Instead, we're trying to placate our own insecurities by bringing down others. Comparing how many goods we have to another person is a symptom of this. We might be insecure about who we are, what we've achieved, or that we're not doing good enough. So how do we get around that? It seems nowadays that our ties are to personal achievement, to relative worth. To be ambitious and aim for our dreams is commendable, but there is a point when it can become flawed. In Sparta, this was often visible. Reputation and working hard was very important, but in some, as Plutarch observes, it can become an issue. The man who is flawless and perfectly good would have no need at all of glory, except in so far as it offers an avenue of achievement, since he comes to be trusted as a result of gaining it. By contrast, a man who is still young and ambitious may be permitted to both feel a certain pride and to boast of the glory gained from his fine exploits. For the qualities budding and growing in men of that age, as Theophrastus says, will be confirmed by praise of their successes, and will develop thereafter under the stimulus of pride. To push too far is risky in all circumstances, but when political ambitions are involved it is fatal. In the case of those who have gained high authority, it drives them to madness and plain insanity once they accept that what is honourable is in fact glorious, but believe that what is glorious is also good. From Plutarch's Lives Aegis on Sparta. Nowadays, hustle culture encourages us to work relentlessly, and that if we don't have a job and several side projects and a family, we're not doing enough. But where is the balance and moderation in this? Everyone should work hard, but why are we accepting these values pushed onto us by society? In politics, many people become corrupted by the party line. Adhere to the narrative, goes the message, or you will go nowhere. New young politicians join because they want to improve the world, but then only stay around if they do what keeps the existing power bases in power, be that the top politicians of their party or corporate interests. When Phocion was asked by Antipater to do something which was not at all honourable, he said to him, You cannot have Phocion both as a friend and as a toady. It is this, then, or something like it, which needs to be said to the crowd. The same man cannot be your ruler and your servant. When this actually does occur, his situation is like that of the snake in the fable. Its tail rebelled against its head, and demanded to take a turn at leading rather than continually following the head. So it took the lead and got into difficulties itself by going off the road as well as bruising the head, which was forced quite unnaturally to follow a part of the snake that was blind and stupid. We observe this to have been the predicament of many of those whose sole concern in politics is to win popularity. After making themselves dependent upon capriciously shifting mobs, they have later been unable either to reassert themselves or to control the disorder, from Plutarch's Lives Aegis on Sparta. The ties, then, that we have can be multifarious. They might be to our possessions, like Epictetus's lamp, to our career, or to the opinions of others. But Epictetus reminds us that often in our lives, it is our individual virtue that matters. Spartans struggled to get by if they had a reputation for cowardice, finding themselves ostracised and reduced to the effective status of a slave, where any Spartan was allowed to even spit and kick on them if they had been judged as avoiding battle or death. Although this seems extreme, we are perhaps doing the same to ourselves when we violate our own conscience with our decision-making. And as Nietzsche argued, we should seek to re-evaluate values, not just accept the ones given to us by society. We hope you've enjoyed this video about Epictetus's lamp. At Spartan Stoic Training, we provide a range of programs to learn about the Stoics, Spartans, philosophy, and more, with a view to self-improvement. Save the time of reading hundreds of complicated books, and get it all in easy, bespoke, affordable programs. Check the link in the description, and thanks for watching. We hope to see you there.